Welcome to Sign for the Times. The Society for the Involvement of Good Neighbors, commonly known as SIGN, is a not-for-profit agency in Yorkton, Saskatchewan, Canada, that provides 24 social and community programs and services that fulfill its mission to provide leadership, programs, and services that assist, support, and empower children, adults, and families to achieve lifelong success. SIGN believes that this will lead to strong and caring citizens and strong and caring communities. Our podcasts explore those programs and include conversations with those closely involved with SIGN and with people who have used the services of SIGN. My name is Dick DeRuyck. We're talking to Sheila Hintz, the chair of the board of SIGN, and Andrew Sedley, its executive director. We're talking about community support for this organization, which comes in the form of both financial support and support through the donation of items and goods that the organization can use to support people who depend on SIGN's services. What is SIGN's reliance on donations? You get funding from multiple sources, donations being one of them. What does that mean to SIGN?
Financial contributions of our donors are so important to the operation of SIGN, but more importantly to supporting people within our communities. We're funded by a number of ministries across the provincial government, some federal funding, as well as municipal government. The donations that we do receive go directly to supporting those that are in need within our communities. A lot of times our funding will only provide us with a certain set of what we can provide for our clients or service users in our communities. And donations that we do receive go directly to supporting individuals, which is so important to providing the care that SIGN's always provided over the past 54 years.
And donations consist of both financial donations, but you also get a lot of goods very recently, again, mitts and toques and quilts and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's amazing community that comes together and provides for a lot of people that utilize our services, from mitts to toques to clothing to kitchen supplies to help people out when they're first getting out onto their own and may not have the financial needs to be able to purchase a lot of those things. We've received numerous donations. Actually, 12 years ago, when I first started with SIGN, we were donated a house. And, it's amazing just some of the donations that we have received through the years. And it truly does make a difference in the operations to support those that really need the supports in our community.
One of the donations that you received in the last few years was to fund the Elton Davidge Scholarship, which is a high school scholarship. I remember Elton Davidge. He was the first executive director of SIGN back when it started in the 60s. And I think his wife was also involved. I believe she ran the daycare, if I'm not mistaken, when they were on Livingston Street in a building that no longer exists. It's now part of the credit union parking lot, I do believe. And I think, Andrew, you have some personal connection with that location and the Davidges from way back when you were a kid.
Well, I do tell this story quite a bit, but my first introduction to SIGN was as a very young child, and I attended that daycare on Livingston Street, the SIGN daycare, and so I learned about all the great stuff that SIGN was involved in. Don't want to date myself, but very early 80s as well, and got to know so many amazing people and life comes full circle, too, where you now work with a lot of people. Sheila being one of them, our board chair, who was one of the daycare teachers when I went.
That's Sheila Hintz. She's the chair of the board, and she is also a person who has been making donations in order to fund the Elton Davidge Scholarship. Sheila, what motivated you to do that?
There was a need. It's quite simple, actually. At a board meeting, Andrew announced that we needed some funding for that, and I didn't hesitate for a second that I would take care of that.
Your association with SIGN going way back, obviously, you're very familiar with the needs that an organization like that has for support from the community.
Absolutely. Yes, as Andrew mentioned, I was fortunate enough to be employed at Sign Daycare in those mid 80s as well. I got to know Andrew as a little boy. I got to get to know his mama and his daddy, and we are still close friends to this day. And I still associate with many people that I worked with during that time. It forged my commitment to community way back then already, because I knew that Sign was an important, integral part of this community and the outreaching areas. It's pretty cool now that, well, it's at the 50th anniversary when I was invited to attend that supper that night. And then speaking with Randy Golden and you, and just, it was like, hey, is there a possibility I could give back to this great organization and become involved again? And so now it's almost 4 years since I've been on the board now, and the privilege of being vice chair and now the chair. It's truly one of the greatest privileges of my life to be involved in this organization. And so, yes, to answer your question again, the opportunity to support this fund is just really a no-brainer for me. I'm privileged to be able to do it.
The scholarship fund, Elton Davids Scholarship Fund, tell me about when it's awarded, who is eligible, and what kind of support, scholarship support we're talking about.
When Elton first started with Sign, there was such a need, and he had his, kind of finger on the pulse of the community. What were some of the needs that we were needing in the community? So this scholarship provides two students, one from the regional high school and one from Sacred Heart High School, $500 each. And the scholarship goes to students that are going into the human services field. So it could be nursing, it could be teaching, it could be social work. We also ask that student is involved in their community, volunteer work. And so really, some of those ideals that Elton had years and years ago that Sign still holds so true to us, we now, are wanting to help to build our younger generation in our community and to help them along their journey of education as well. Students can go to the main office and pick up the application form, that sort of thing. And we look forward to, usually in later May, we find out from the schools as to the students who were the successful students and get to learn a little bit about what their plans are post-secondary and what they're wanting to do. And so, it's an exciting time for us as a board and as an organization where we can support some of our students as they further their education.
What other initiatives is Sign taking or expect to be taking as far as encouraging donations to the organization?
Our board, and I can have Sheila speak a little bit about it as well, but through our governance structure, we do have our community relations committee, and our community relations committee focuses on fundraising for the organization, looking at some larger fundraising events. And so we're currently at our administrative level right now, just reviewing what are the fundraising needs for this upcoming year within our organization and programs, and then getting involved with our community relations committee to start looking at what may be that larger fundraising event that we want to host. With the pandemic over the past few years, a lot of that kind of got put on hold. And so I think we're excited to, bring people together again and be able to, support community, support Sign as well.
That's right. We're looking at doing something this fall, possibly putting something together that could involve the community, that we could engage with them once again, bring them out, and just really as a thank you in lots of respects, but just possibly to let the community know again, assessing if and what we do have for needs, because if we don't need to be collecting funds, then we really don't need to be collecting funds, right? But we just want to assess that and let the community know how they can become involved with us.
Yeah, and it's amazing, some of the phone calls out of the blue that I'll get in the office sort of thing, community members saying, hey, I heard about this initiative that's happening. How can I, contribute or anything like that? And so, if there's people wanting to know more about our organization, or if there's a certain need that's kind of near and dear to their heart that they want to, look at how they could help us and support us, anyone can always give us a call, myself a call at the main office, and I'd love to sit down, have a coffee and discuss some of that as well. Not a Yorkton issue or just a Saskatchewan issue, but we're seeing it, across the country right now is we're seeing more and more needs within our communities, higher needs, those that are going homeless, that are going hungry, that are, really, really struggling. And so, as an organization, as Elton Davidge at the beginning, having that finger on the pulse of the community, that's something that we still want to be doing. And so we're, constantly looking at initiatives that we can develop to help support those in need and provide timely supports for them as well.
In the next couple of days, Dick, I'm going to be speaking to my church group, actually, going over the history of Sign and letting them know what the current programs are that's happening at Sign. My church is a church that has supported Sign over the last few years already. We always have a mitten tree up before Christmas. Just being able to just share what I'm passionate about, and then let the people know that are going to be there. I just know that there's going to be other people that are just going to say, I didn't know that was a need. I can help out with that. And that's just a beautiful thing.
And you think something as simple as a midden tree,
right?
When we receive that winter gear, and we hand them out to individuals that don't have, the smiles on their faces and just so thankful that they are. And it truly, something so simple can make such a huge difference in someone's life. And so really appreciative of the church and the group and everything that you guys have done to help support those people as well.
You're welcome.
You have received support from various foundations, including the Yorkton District Community Foundation, the Morris Foundation, which is a familiar name in Yorkton. So the support has been fairly widespread from individual donors to larger foundations who are looking to put money in meaningful programs.
Yeah, it's amazing the support that we get from our foundations, our service clubs. Just for example, with our funding we received through the Morris Foundation, we're able to run a 2-year project on youth resiliency, and then partnering with community partners where after that 2 years is complete, the city's willing to take it on and continue with it, right? So ensuring that that program can be sustainable and continue on past that 2 years of funding, and so working with the city of Yorkton and them thinking or saying that what, we believe in this, we're going to continue with it, and Sign continue as a partner with them, I think so important. We look at our relationship with the Yorkton District Community Foundation and the amount of programs that have received grants through the community foundation that have affected so many people within our communities, from purchasing of laptops to being able to provide some programming within schools, transportation. We are so appreciative of the support we receive from the Yorkton District Community Foundation. They're the one local foundation that can tie us as well into some national granting opportunities and that sort of thing as well. And it's so important to have those strong relationships, and we're very appreciative that the foundation believes that we are an organization worth investing in and to help make a difference within our communities.
There are also people in our community who care to make smaller dollar donations, which can be done on the website. Actually, there are links on the website for people who wish to make whether a one-time donation or a monthly donation or an annual donation.
Absolutely, and the opportunity to do it online has really grown. I remember it wasn't that long ago. I've been with Sign now for 12 years, and off the start, it was, a lot of people coming in with checks and that sort of thing. And now we're seeing more on the online platform. We have donation buttons through Canada Helps as well as PayPal. And what's really neat with the Canada Helps is, individuals can put in monthly contributions, annual contributions, one-time contributions. And, we're seeing more and more people use that online approach now with it. One thing, though, that I really do enjoy is just sitting down with people. They'll give me a call and say, hey, can we sit down for coffee and talk a little bit about Sign and the programs? And they say, you know what, this is a program that's really important to me. A month later, we'll start seeing some donations online that are coming through from them and that sort of thing. But it's the the commitment of these individuals and seeing the value within our organization that truly does impact our communities, and so thankful for that.
I guess I would just add that, yes, how integral that is, that the community involvement, and how you would not even think that some things might be important to somebody, but just like Andrew said, they reach out and they know that they can help you. That is such an incredibly kind, beautiful thing that people just from their hearts, they just want to give. That philanthropy is alive and well. And Sign has been a definite recipient of that over these years now. I'm just pleased to be with an organization that people feel so deeply about.
New Sign for the Times podcasts are published regularly. In upcoming podcasts, we will talk with those who have been assisted by Sign's various programs and with the program managers and staff who provide that assistance. If you have comments or suggestions, please feel free to email communications@signyorkton.ca or use the contact options on our website at www.signyorkton.ca. We are also on Facebook and Instagram, all at Sign Yorkton.